What is going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to another video. And today, the New York Jets wrapped up day number 3 of training camp, and the offense wins again. What is going on, folks? We are not used to this. Usually, early on in training camp, it is the exact opposite in Jets land when the offense struggles and the defense dominates. Well, that's not with Aaron Rodgers under center this year. The first day was a little rusty for the offense, but after the first day, Aaron Rodgers goes crazy in day 2 yesterday and day 3 today. Alan Lazard apparently is the star of practice. There's a lot to get into, some injury news and some players getting back. All positive things here at Jets Media, recapping day number 3 of Jets training camp. Guys, don't forget to simply subscribe to Jets Media if you're new here, and like this video if you guys enjoy, and comment down below your biggest takeaways and your biggest thoughts from training camp from the New York Jets thus far. Again, I'm so excited to be there on Tuesday. It's going to be a joy to watch. Now, before we get into all the other stuff and injuries, let's just start off with Aaron Rodgers, because look at this tweet from Connor Hughes. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers went 10 of 12 with 2 touchdowns throughout all of practice today, 6 of 8 with 2 touchdowns and 11 on 11, 4 of 6 with 2 touchdowns in the red zone starting at the 12, 4 for 4 and 7 on 7. Rodgers is now 23 of 28 with 3 touchdowns in the last 2 camp practices. Maybe Jets should hold a mini camp in Egypt. Yeah, I mean, come on now. They should just bring the entire Jets team to Egypt at this point. But all jokes aside, it's awesome to see Aaron Rodgers out there and dealing and just looking like a guy that knows how to get this offense rolling. And we all know that he is the system. We have to have him getting on the same page with the weapons and the wide receivers and the running backs and the offensive line. And another reporter from Nick Faria, he said that it was really important in today's practice that Aaron Rodgers was focusing in on audibles and, hand signals at the line of scrimmage in the red zone. That's what it all comes down to, folks. Aaron Rodgers needs to get on the same page with this young Jets offense, and the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, the offensive line, they all need to know, okay, Aaron Rodgers is going to tell us what to do at the snap. Right before they, pre-snap reads, you read what the defense is looking. Can this offense get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers? It's going to take some time, but it's really cool to see early on that the New York Jets offense is clicking on the same cylinders, and they're beating up on this defense that is stacked and loaded. Now, another thing that we're noticing is the offensive line is a big reason why Aaron Rodgers and the offense is winning, okay? AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, returned to practice today from an 11-on-11 standpoint. He's coming back from his Achilles injury last year. Very good sign to have AVT back in the fold. Tyron Smith had a veteran rest day today, which allowed Olu, the rookie, to get some time at left tackle, and he looked very good at left tackle. It's really cool that we have a first-round pick in Olu who is going to be able to sub in for Tyron Smith at left tackle when he is having a rest day, because we all know what the model is here. Tyron Smith was brought to help us win today and to develop Olu for the long run. We want Olu to be our franchise left tackle for the next decade plus, and we have Tyron Smith to be the guy this year and to help develop Olu. So it's really cool that we have 2 starting caliber left tackles. Usually we don't have any, but the Jets have 2. We're spoiled now with this offensive line. Morgan Moses is still rehabbing his pec injury. He should be back in a week or 2. But as of right now, this offensive line has been getting the best of the Jets' defensive line. Now, I don't think that's concerning and worrying about, oh no, is the Jets pass rush and the defense is not going to be good this year? We still have to get Hassan Reddick back. They still have to put pads on, by the way, because there's no pads on right now. And the trenches are kind of hard to evaluate without pads. But at the end of the day, usually without pads, the benefit goes to the defensive line. So the fact that the offensive line is winning these matchups against the Jets defensive line that's that good without pads, that's a positive sign. And you have to look at what Joe Douglas did in the offseason to bring in John Simpson, to bring in Smith and all these players, and the year 2 leap of Joe Tippmann. It's a lot of excitement going into camp regarding the offensive line, a position that Jets fans have been begging Joe Douglas to fix since he came into the building, and it's all looking good thus far. Now, some injury news. Xavier Gipson is dealing with a leg injury, and he did not practice today. Robert Saleh said that he should be back in a week or 2, but what that does do is it opens up Malachi Corley to get more opportunities. Robert Saleh said he still has a long way to go in terms of route running, but I think now with Gipson not practicing, it's going to give the rookie Corley more opportunities to kind of open up his route tree, get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers, and get coached up by Hackett and the rest of the coaching staff. Because what we brought Corley here to do is to be the yak guy, right? To get the ball on swing routes and get the ball even out of the backfield. But his route running is something that needs development, and I'm not expecting him to be, perfectly coming out of the gate and take this league by storm as a rookie. Not at all. He's more of a raw prospect that I think is going to get molded for the long run, and I definitely think he's going to have an impact this year. And the fact that Gibson is injured definitely stinks. We need to stay healthy, but it is going to open up an opportunity for Malachi Corley. Another injury today happened is Brendan Eccles left with the trainer, so some cornerback depth is happening. Now, what happened on the defensive side, good day for the rookies. Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant, had an interception. Cool to see Jalen Key make an impact because this is a guy that I feel like nobody's talking about amongst Jets fans, where the Jets know how to develop players late in the draft and undrafted. Let's not forget who Tony Adams is. Undrafted free agent. Now he's our starting safety. So why can't Mr. Irrelevant develop into the starting safety next to Tony Adams if Chuck Clark is the veteran and he's not a long-term safety? Let's be honest with ourselves. So Key making a play at camp. I think he's one of those guys that can be, a stud if he's developed properly. And the one thing I have confidence with this Jets team is they know how to develop defensive backs. They know how to put those players in the right situations to succeed. They have a phenomenal culture over there. I'm not going to sit here and say Key's going to be the next starting safety for the Jets the next 5-10 years, but you never know with this coaching staff. I love to see him making plays. Of course, we have Quantez Stiggers making plays all over the place. So the Jets have two young rookies in the secondary, one at the corner spot in Quantez and one at the safety position in Key. I bet you the Jets are trying to develop them both to be starters in the future or just provide depth and get on the field in certain packages. So all good stuff there. Now, a guy that continues to play excellent football with Aaron Rodgers, nobody expected this. It's Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard apparently beat Sauce Gardner over the middle of the field. He's all over the place. Now, this is so awesome because if Allen Lazard, and I've been saying this every training camp video, if you've been watching every training camp recap video so far this year, I've been saying the same thing every time because Allen Lazard's name keeps getting brought up. And if he's going to start making plays like this at practice, that is going to translate. And Jets fans need to understand that Aaron Rodgers made Allen Lazard who he is today. And there was an awesome quote from Aaron Rodgers at the end of the season last year. And he said that he's going to lean in on Allen Lazard this offseason because he's a good friend of his, of course, off the field. And he really wants to gain that confidence back and try to help Lazard because he knows the type of player he is. If you go watch the highlights with Allen Lazard in their last year at Green Bay, he was a very good wide receiver, which is why the Jets wanted to bring him in. Last season was a nightmare for Lazard. He lost his confidence. He had no connection with the quarterbacks. I mean, who did have a connection with the quarterbacks last year? Nobody. So it is cool that Lazard continues to make plays because if you can put Garrett Wilson next to a healthy Mike Williams and Allen Lazard playing the way he did with Green Bay and the young players like Gibson when he's healthy, Malachi Corley, Jason Brownlee making some strides, the Jets low-key have a very good wide receiver room, especially if Allen Lazard can take that step because what I want from Lazard is simple. Be a red zone guy. Be that reliable player that can go up and get the 50-50 ball in the end zone and just score touchdowns. That's all I want from Lazard. Garrett Wilson is going to be the guy that gets all the yards, all the catches. Mike Williams will be that vertical type of player down the field. Gibson and Corley will be the guys in the slot making some plays. And then when it comes to Lazard, I just want him to get on the same page with Rodgers, score touchdowns, and make some plays and not drop the ball and not get pre-snap penalties that he did last year. So definitely some good news with Lazard. But other than that, man, that's kind of all I have for today's practice. Tomorrow is another practice on Saturday that fans will be in attendance. I will be there on Tuesday. That's my thoughts of Jets training camp. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, Jets fans. Love to hear what you guys have to say. As always, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Jets Media if you're not already. I'll catch you guys in the next video. My name is Richie. I'll see you next time. Let's go, Jets. Peace out, folks.